So, you have a new story tape for— Oh my goodness! Ah! Dude! What in the world are you doing in my house? Well, we haven't heard from you in a while and we were getting worried. I was busy, I'm sorry, okay? I got married, I had a kid, I don't have time to sit around making videos and story tapes, I'm sorry. So, do you not have anything? So, are you... Just say it. So, you have a new story tape for me? Yes, sir, I do. It's called A Ton of Mon. Oh, rhyming already. I assume this is going to be a thing throughout, like the Magic Yarmulke? Oh yeah, and in this one we're going full Dr. Seuss with some of them. You know, it's both very annoying and yet oddly impressive that you're able to do that. Thank you. Not a compliment. Well, I'm going to take it as one. It was not. So what happens in the story? Well, we start off with 3 British children. You have British child voice actors? No, but I figured it would be just as good if we tell the children to use just the worst British accent. Why, though? So one of the kids is very excited because his aunt came all the way from the States. What states? The ones that are united. The United Nations? States, not nations. The United Arab Emirates? Again, states, not Emirates, whatever they are. The USSR, the Union of Soviet Socialist Republics, no longer exists. The United Mexican States, the official name of Mexico since it became an independent state in 1821. Literally no one knows that but you. Well, then I have no idea what you're talking about. The United States of America. Oh, why didn't you just say so? You should probably make that clear in the tape. Probably not necessary. Anyways, he's excited because she brought him an Uncle Dovey story tape from America. Shameless plug for our other story tapes. You know it, it's the Magic Yarmulke, and they are all super excited about it. Well, except one kid, Willie. He thinks story tapes are silly and childish. Yeah, story tapes are the worst. I mean, I don't even like them. Seriously, like, who makes that stuff? Me, sir. Anyway, one of the kids says he wishes Uncle Dovey would come to England and tell him a story personally, but Willie says that's crazy. Why would he come all the way to London just for a story? Makes sense. And then Uncle Dovey walks up and goes, "Here I am, and how do you do?" What? Why was he there? And how could he hear them talking about him if he just walked up? Was he just standing around nearby, eavesdropping on their conversation? He also has a British accent now. I feel like you're ignoring the questions I asked. Also, how does one all of a sudden have a British accent? He borrowed it from a friend. He what? How does that even work? Is his friend American now? Was it even consensual? Sir, I didn't have a lot of time to figure this stuff out, so I'm gonna need you to get way off my back about it. Alright, it's just an odd thing to decide is possible. Anyways, the kids are thrilled to see him, and one of them is like, "Uncle Dovey, is that really you?" Why would he say that? To be sure, it was really him. Isn't that totally unnecessary? He just introduced himself. Oh, it's extremely important to teach kids not to assume that people are who they look like. I mean, very, very, very important. Like, woo boy, is that important. Something you want to share, man? Nope. So anyways, then we're gonna have a song about how great stories are, like a hot summer swim or a chocolate chip cookie. Now, I hear that. Like finding a bunch of money, like claiming innocence, like doing a flip. I'm sorry, claiming innocence? Yeah, you know that feeling of telling everybody that it's not your fault? I have no idea what you mean. Everybody else will get it. I don't think they will. So Uncle Dovey starts telling the story, and Willie wants them to know he does not want to be there. Like, really, really wants them to know that. He could just leave. No, he'll stay. He just really needs to get places, so he would appreciate it if the story is quick and short. Are you just trying to excuse yourself for writing a short story? So in that spirit, we're gonna have a song about life back then in the desert. Another song already? I mean, I guess it's fine if it has important exposition for the story. Right. So this song is about camelbacks, what they are, how you ride them, whether you can eat super snacks while you're riding them. Seriously? And we're gonna spend a long time on this, like a full 5 minutes. I cannot stress enough how long we are going to be talking about camelbacks. It really feels like you're just trying to fill up time here. So Willie's like, all right, what happened next? Dovey hasn't even started yet. Doesn't matter, we gotta keep it moving. Uncle Dovey tells the kids that the Jews back then were very poor, but very happy. Great, so maybe write a scene with Jews being nice to each other to show that? Yeah. I thought we could just have them, say V'ahavta l'reacha kamecha like 5 times. That works too. Great, and then we'll contrast that with the Arabs who do argue. So you'll just have them say tisna asachicha a bunch of times? Nope, I actually wrote a silly little argument for them. Things like mocking tent prices, calling each other camel thieves. Alright, not bad, that's pretty tame. Calling his face a disgrace to humanity, threatening to mace his face. Whoa, man, that's pretty bad. Hey, wait, that rhymes! Yup, lots of rhyming here, sir. Anyway, then we introduce the Pasha, who wants all the Jews' money, even if he has to threaten them. Oh my goodness, he sounds like a scary guy. Oh, he is. Terrifying, even. He's a banana-nosed ruler named Amal ibn Bamal ibn Gamal Kazan. Oh, a very wacky name. Yup, and he's so frustrated the Jews don't want to convert to Islam, even though he promises them honor and money. I thought he wanted to take their money. Moving on, so the evil advisor, Ibn Abu Ben Zuk, tells the Pasha that he knows a simple way to get the Jews to convert. He tells Kazam that the Jews have one thing that they treasure the most, and if you take that away, they will be completely hopeless. Wait a second. Didn't we already do a stolen Torah plot in the Golden Crown? Yeah, but that's not what he was referring to. He was referring to their food. Their food? Yup, he tells the Pasha that they'll steal all the Jews' kosher food and then throw a big banquet. The Jews will either have to eat all the non-kosher food, or they'll starve. Well, I mean, the Jews could just buy fruits and vegetables and nuts. Nuh-uh. Anyway, after Ben Zook calls the Pasha a nitwit, you can just do that. Yup, he got together 26 gangsters to steal all the Jews' kosher food while they're sleeping. I imagine it'll be hard to steal stuff while you're asleep. Nope, it'll be super easy. Wait, no. While the Jews are sleeping, not the gangsters. That makes more sense. Yep, and while they're stealing the Jews' food, the gangsters are going to sing a song about how good they are at stealing. We can add sound effects like pots and cutlery and all the cabinets they're opening and closing. And no one wakes up from the noise? Well, you see, we'll have the Jews snoring extremely loudly, so they won't notice. Oh, noisy snoring covering up criminal activity is tight. Yep, and part of the song will be the gangsters saying that even though they seem mean, way deep down, they're really very sweet. Really very sweet? They are actively stealing food from people who they in general want to attack physically. Attack respectfully. And gently. Like a rabbi hijacking a plane. What? Different script. We'll get there a different time. Anyway, the next morning when the Jews wake up and find all their food is missing, they are very worried. I'd imagine so. When suddenly a messenger shows up and tells the Jews that there will be a feast thrown that day just for them. And it's not at all suspicious that their food disappears and the next morning there's a banquet invite for them. I guess no one thought of that. Huh. Meanwhile, the chef started to cook using a special cookbook into which only Ibn Abba Ben Zook is allowed to look. So how were the chefs able to cook the food if they couldn't see the recipes? Well, they were expert chefs. How's that? Well, as you know, the ruler of this tape is called a Pasha. And the title Pasha was used in ancient Egypt under the Muhammad Ali dynasty. Okay. And as you know, Muhammad Ali fought George Foreman. What? And George Foreman is the inventor of the George Foreman, so he'd probably know about cooking, I'd say. Did you just make that all up? Unimportant. So at the banquet, they had fruits and vegetables and a bunch of non-kosher foods. Couldn't they have just eaten the fruits? Ugh, no, they couldn't, okay? Alright. So what kind of food was there? Well, they have rhinoceros tongue, frog legs, tonsils, turtle shell, spider web, elephant trunks, octopus tail. But obviously they couldn't eat it all because it was treif. I don't think anyone would eat that. Anyway, the Rav of the town politely explained that though they appreciate the food, they're not allowed to eat it because it's not kosher. And the Pasha challenges him and says if they don't have any other food, what are they going to eat? Oh, so outright admitting that he knows their food is missing? And no one is the least bit suspicious? Nope. So because the Rav had no response, Ben Zook took the opportunity to rile up the crowd against the Jews. Oh my gosh. Yep, the crowd was just about ready to pounce when a little boy named Shai went over to the Rav and asked if he could give a response to the Pasha. While the Arabs were getting ready to attack? Yep, so Shai went over to the Pasha and sings him a song about the mun, how it miraculously came down from the sky and how it tasted like anything you wanted, and that's why we trust in Hashem to provide us with our food. Again, the Arabs are just standing there while he's giving this whole speech, and after Shai finishes, the Arabs all protest for letting a child speak. You mean they protested after he already gave his whole speech? Yeah, because it would be rude to interrupt in the middle of the speech. Right, and the murderers wouldn't want to be rude now. Exactly. So the Pasha is intrigued, and he gives the Jews a 3-day deadline to bring down mun from the sky. Well, at least he bought them some time. Yep, so the Jews begin to fast and daven. Meanwhile, on a mountaintop in Sweden, we meet a candy maker named Hansen von Fleet, and he's working on a new frozen candy, which he calls ice cream. Okay, but then, when he put it outside to freeze, a tornado blew it all away. It flew on and on above Denmark and France, the UK. Oh, I see where it's going. Russia, Timbuktu, Turkey, and then finally it slowed down near Egypt. Have you ever seen a map? Meanwhile, all the Jews are fasting and crying, except for Shai, to which his father is like, why don't you cry, Shai? You don't even try. Man, this guy's a pessimist. You don't even try to cry. Tell me why. I think they get it. You see all the Jews, how they pray and they cry, but you don't cry. You don't even try to cry. Tell me why, Shai. Okay, sounds like he's straight up bullying him into crying. Well, Shai rhymes with cry, and rhyming a whole story tape is hard. Guy, fry, lie, sly. So then we have a song about the Jews never giving up hope, and that inspires Shai's father to not give up hope. How nice. Then came the third day. All the Jews were saying their last goodbyes when Shai says he sees a colorful cloud coming by. But Shai's father says, no, son, it seems your eyes are deceiving you. It's gotta rhyme. Okay, he says, what are you talking about, Shai? I think you have a fly in your eye. As a loving father should talk. But then, big balls of colorful snow start to fall from the sky. It's all very silly and fun. That's actually very dangerous. Heavy snow can crush buildings, you know. Nope, snow is fun, and then one big piece of this stuff hits the Pasha right in the mouth. How did it get past his banana nose? And also, that would knock him unconscious. And he loves it, thinking it fits the description of mun perfectly. Ice cream does not taste like whatever you want. Whatever. Also, how did the Jews eat it? They couldn't know if it was kosher. They didn't eat it. I thought the whole point was Hashem was going to provide them with food. Well, you see, the Pasha was so happy that he gave them all their food back. So, you know, it works. Fair enough. And Ben Zook was buried in a ton of that ice cream mud. Oh my goodness, and they just leave him there like that? He could freeze to death. Yeah, but we'll give him a line to show that he's okay. I guess that makes it better? And little Shai was promoted to be the Pasha's advisor. They appointed a child. Sir, I'm almost done. Could you let it go? Sorry. Anyway, the kids were all thrilled with the story, except for Willie, who says it was a bit too childish and silly. Alright, this kid is the worst. But he secretly kind of liked the story, so he asked Dubby to say it again. Oh, so we get the kids who didn't like it to listen to it again? Exactly. Brilliant. And that's about it. What do you think? I like it, and you know what stands out the most? What, sir? The plot, the creativity, the writing, the storyline? The super snacks. You mean like from the beginning of the story? Uh-huh. Sir, do you want a super snack? Yes, I do. In fact, it's all I've been thinking about since you mentioned it. But what do you think of the story? Well, it's definitely not a complex story, but I think the kids will love it. Flying ice cream, funny songs, silly characters, all a recipe for a great story. Thank you. Now, is this by any chance a true story? People will want to know. This story? Flying ice cream from Sweden and a child advisor to the king? You don't actually think anyone would believe the story is true. Have you met the internet?